All right, SportsXradio, Ken Thompson, Andy Isco on a Thursday night, live from Vegas, 50,000 watt AM 720 KDWN all over the West Coast. If you haven't done so, download that free app, hit the Google Play Store, hit the iTunes Store. Does not matter. It is a free app. And speaking of free apps, our next guest joining us right now, Mark Mongie. Mark connected with United Games. And Mark, first off, it is a pleasure having you on, and pretty extensive resume that you have, and we are very fortunate to have you on this show. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be with you.
Yes, and I mean, here's a guy that, boy, I'll tell you, you talk about games to be involved in. You are basically the brains behind some of these big-time games that we have had throughout our history, and talking about Madden football, talking about EA Sports. A little bit of background on Mark Mongie, and how did you get interested in all this stuff? I know initially you're from South Africa, or your roots are from South Africa. How long have you been in the States, and how did you get involved in all this stuff as far as all these different types of games?
Well, I immigrated to the States back in 1994. I married an American. My wife Lisa's from Ann Arbor, Michigan. We lived in South Africa a couple of years, and then I immigrated in 1994. We moved out to the Utah area, and when I first moved out, I was fortunate enough to join with a small game company in Salt Lake City, Utah. It was developing mostly kids' educational titles, and got my foothold in games way back then, and have been involved on and off ever since. And
the success of games that you've been behind, I mean, I'm talking about, as far as EA Sports, I mean, initially there was a NASCAR game, I think, that you got involved in, and you took that sucker right there to the top of its field. And then there were several others that you got involved in, including Madden football. It has to be pretty exciting, but it's got to be a lot of hard work, and you have a success ratio that's unparalleled, outstanding track record, and I know. You've got to be pretty pleased, and you're probably somebody that doesn't have to continue to work. But this is, it looks like this United Games thing could be something that has piqued your interest, and may be the biggest and best of all.
Yeah, we're doing some pretty good things with United Games. It's been a great run ever since we got started late last year. We have some very talented people working on our team, and we've been able to have some great successes in building great momentum leading up to our launch later in the fall this year. So, this is exciting because this game is unlike most in this category. We're trying some new and exciting things, and we're going to sort of define a category. So we're excited about that.
Okay, so now we're talking about a free app now that is going to be available to players. CEO owner Jeff Henderson behind this, and also listen to several different videos from Natalie Lewis, the chief marketing officer. So again, it looks like you said, a good, extensive, solid team behind United Games. And again, the launching somewhere coming up in the near future in the fall of 2016. And instead of going the route of spending a ton of money on advertising and bringing in big name athletes, because we're talking about a free app that's basically going to be dealing with live sporting events, you folks decided to go another route, and that's involve people as far as the word of mouth deal, to where this may be more lucrative because the word will be able to travel quicker, and even places where maybe some of those ads won't be seen. And you're talking over 100 different countries could be involved in this whole scenario, but everything culminating here and starting in the United States, and then the big United Games kickoff event coming up Thursday, August 25th and 26th, right here in beautiful Las Vegas.
That's right. Yep, we'll be doing an affiliate launch in Las Vegas. We've taken a different approach to launching our game. We don't think it's been done before, which is to launch a mobile app to an affiliate network group prior to going live. These, people around the country, around the world, have been exposed to some of the early developments with the game. We're building this network marketing affiliate sales team, started in the U.S., but is now worldwide in over 175 countries worldwide, and this great team of affiliates is building momentum for our launch in the fall. So we're excited about that. It's a interesting way to launch an app, because normally when you create a great mobile product. You take the traditional mass marketing route and try and get the word out through TV, radio, and other conventional forms of advertising. And we're doing something different, which is go directly to an affiliate network, let the man in the street promote and market the game, and let them benefit from the sale of that app. So it's a different approach, and we're very excited about that.
And, of course, with social media now and with the man in the street having access to things like Twitter and Facebook, it gives him some tools that he didn't have in years past.
That's correct, yep. With the rise of social media over the last decade or so, these affiliates around the country and around the world will have the opportunity of sharing this great app that we're launching in the fall with their friends and family and those that they know, which is great because they lay the foundation for what is going to be an exciting part of our app, which is the social experience around sports. To have a social experience, you need people. So rather than launching an app live in the app and Google Play Store to silence, deafening silence on launch day and having no one there, we will have many, many users as part of our affiliate group, making that initial social network for our game. So that's an important part of our strategy, which is to create the social network inside of sports, and our affiliates are going to be getting us a great start with that strategy.
When you look at numbers, and United Games has done their homework, and that the reason that they're taking their time to make sure that everything's done right, and there'll be some trial, some dry runs, so to speak, as far as with the app and getting things out there, making sure all the kinks are out. But when you start looking at trends, and this is just based on 2015, 100 billion apps downloaded, over $45 billion in revenue just on apps alone. Mark, those are staggering numbers.
Yep, we're entering a rapidly growing market. I was involved in interactive sports, like I said, way back in the early 90s, and back then, Facebook really wasn't on the map, and other ways of sharing interactive media just weren't around. But as apps have grown year over year, it's now a massive marketplace. We're excited to get into that marketplace with our unique marketing strategy. And we're excited because, like you said, games and apps in the game space is the number one revenue earner over commercial apps, productivity apps, or any other kind of app. So it's a very lucrative market if you can do it right. But because of that, because there's so much money in it, there's some very big players, and to break into that market takes a lot these days. It takes a very careful and, in our case, a very unique strategy to penetrate that very lucrative market.
All right, and then some of the stats that are up there, average customer retention of 9.7 years, customers sharing with an average of 7 other customers, so therefore affiliates, people that come on to be affiliates, not just players. Again, the folks that just want to play for free, they are welcome to do that. But right now, at least up until launching time this fall, there is an affiliate program that folks can get involved in.
That's correct. And the great thing about the affiliate network is we brought some key people in at the beginning to grow this network right, and that affiliate network group have really introduced us to the player network, the professional athletes, retired professional athletes, not just in U.S. sports but worldwide sports. And that's been an amazing thing to behold, because we've had amazing success just in a couple of months of reaching out to athletes, making them an intrinsic part of our launch strategy, so that when this game goes live, we will have athletes, pro athletes and retired athletes, along with regular fans involved in this app. So that's going to be a great thing to watch as it occurs. Exactly.
It's a great concept. When you understand that 20% of Americans play fantasy sports, but 90% are sports fans. So what is fantasy missing? Well, we've seen things even in the daily fantasy market to where there are folks that do have an advantage. There are those folks that basically, hit all the stats. They hit all the, the different metrics and figure things out. And they do have an advantage over the average Joe. Here, the concept with United Games as far as with this free app, as far as the game itself, it's going to be something that is going to be demographically, whether you're a teenager or whether you're somebody that's older and retired, that you're going to be able to play, and you can play amongst your family, amongst your friends, and you can play amongst yourself. From what I'm understanding is you will have a number as a player, and you will be able to achieve lifetime bench points. And the more points, naturally, that you gain, that increases the amount and types of prizes that you'll be able to accumulate, whether it's shirts and hats initially, whether it goes on up to electronics and even trips and travel and on up to automobiles. That is all within the realm of possibility.
Yes, the app is driven by a very basic financial model. It's a freemium financial model, so the app is downloaded free. You can play for free. As you get more involved in the app and you want to take part in more unique live events within our app, along with live sporting events, you purchase tokens. As a free play initially, you will get some tokens for free, which allow you to take advantage of all the features. And then over time, as you want to engage in deeper and deeper features, the freemium app becomes more of a paid app. Not a very heavy overhead as far as staying involved as a sports fan goes. We're talking about, cents as opposed to dollars to stay involved and partake of sort of the live event part of the game. But the financial model also behind the app staying viable and allowing us to continue to develop features is there's a loyalty program built in. So much like, Sky Miles, when you travel, as you fly more, you earn Sky Miles. With our app, as you play more, you earn player loyalty rewards, and your player loyalty reward points go up and up with your lifetime achievements. And as you hit certain milestones as a player with your point achievements, that unlocks various features, unlocks various loyalty prizes that you can redeem in our loyalty reward store. Earning a $25 gift card, for example, earning sports swag sponsored by a sports team. And then as you move higher and higher up the player ranks, some of those prizes will, of course, increase in stature, winning electronics and other more expensive prizes further down the line. But it is a loyalty program. This is not a gambling app. You're not going to, get out more than you put in kind of in that gambling space. It is a loyalty program. So the rewards are player loyalty rewards, but we do reward that dedication by the player to keep playing, earn points, and win loyalty points.
There you go. Now, as far as something like Candy Crush and again the free tokens, you can get those. But then we've seen the success of games like Candy Crush and Angry Birds, where these type games are bringing in over $1 million per day. Yep.
If you can make it into that very select group of apps where you can get to that $1 million a day, then you've got a great financial model in the freemium space that you can really work with. We know that it's a challenge to get there, of course. There's many, many thousands of apps that try and don't succeed to get into that space, which is why I mentioned earlier we have a unique marketing strategy to work with a core base of affiliates to get to that point, to get the traction we need. But then once the ball's rolling and you're into that top-tier space, that revenue can be quite substantial. And with our app, we have a worldwide sporting market we're going after. We'll be adding more and more sports as we go into our launch. And those worldwide sports open up this massive worldwide audience. So if you think about people who like strategy games, there's a certain number of people worldwide who like strategy games. If you like puzzle activity games, there's a certain percentage of people worldwide who like that. What we have going for us is we have the world of sports. And how many people worldwide like sporting games? It's a much higher average than most of these other game categories, which is why we're feeling quite bullish about our chances of doing very well as our app gets worldwide traction in multiple sports around the world.
If you're just tuning in, it is SportsXradio, 50,000 watt AM 720 KDWN. Ken Thompson, Andy Iskoe. We are here. We're speaking with Mark Mongie from United Games. Mark, the Chief Creative Officer and Design Professional. He's got a great track record. EA Sports, the Madden game as well, and somebody that is integral as far as getting this whole launch off the ground, which will happen sometime this fall. And we know that there is a kickoff event coming up later this month right here in Las Vegas at the Palms, a 2-day event on the 25th and 26th of August. When you start looking at potential advertisers, I mean, to me, it makes sense if I'm a pizza place or whatnot, and I've got a commercial coming on during a sporting event, and I'm going to say, hey, you can pick up a couple free tokens by ordering a pizza over the next hour or during the second half of the game or whatever. I mean, it's the way that things are going. Advertising is changing, and when you start seeing the amount of money that is being brought in by these apps and understanding that as far as, some of these free apps, I mean, it blows you away that only 4% will actually pay money as far as that use the free app. So most of the money is generated by the advertisers.
That's correct. We have a clear advertising strategy within our game. Our free players really are supported by advertising. There is that financial model as well that kicks in as they want to get deeper into game experiences and unlock more features. They will buy tokens, but like you said, advertising is going to drive and really finance the free player model to keep those players engaged. The great thing about the advertising model in our game is that it's a win-win strategy. You can imagine yourself being a sports club, either a national one or an international one, wanting to reach a specific fan base. We will have those specific fans for that specific sport playing at a known time, which is very appealing to that sport team and that advertiser wishing to market into that channel. So, if I have a Denver Broncos game going on in the app, I've got 10,000 Denver Bronco fans playing at that live event within my app, and I want to order pizza. We have that kind of target information available for the advertiser to make those kinds of transactions with a specific sports demographic at a specific time watching a specific event. And so it's a wonderful dynamic for advertisers to take advantage of. Of course, we have all kinds of privacy protections and so forth within our app to make that a safe and wonderful experience for the player, but it does allow sport teams to target specifically to that audience. For example, if I'm the Denver Broncos and I have that team of known players watching my game, I can send promotions to that target audience. I can provide team giveaways, team swag to my loyal audience within the app playing at that time. And so that wonderful targeted, relevant product coming to me as a fan by my team is a very important part of our experience. And so our app world experience along with sports is going to enable that kind of wonderful relationship between teams, their fans, and the local community of advertisers who want to reach those fans and provide them what they want when they need it.
Mark, as far as the live sports, we're looking at football, basketball, soccer. I know the initial two, I believe, are going to be NFL football and Major League Soccer. Can you elaborate on some of the other sports? Are we going to see sports like golf and tennis, maybe hockey, baseball? Are they going to be all different sports that are going to be able to use the same model?
Yes, we'll be rolling out sports one by one as seasons roll out, as seasons come online in various sports categories around the world. We have committed to NFL football, MLS soccer, Premier League soccer, some of these major sports at launch. We have some surprises up our sleeve with other leagues and sports coming online at launch or shortly after launch, which will expand that category and please our fans. We are involved in creating a number of different sport game styles within these various sports categories, and our intention is to go worldwide with this, bring on rugby, cricket, some of these very popular worldwide sports. We in the United States enjoy a wonderful sports fan base, with American football leading the way, NBA basketball, NHL hockey, and NASCAR. But worldwide, if you compare our sport population to the world, it sort of pales in comparison. If you look at just the World Cup in soccer, how many fans watch that? Over 3 billion people tuning into that event. This worldwide sports category is very exciting to us and will allow us to do amazing things with such a large sport population worldwide.
The affiliate program and the actual player program is totally different. The affiliate program right now is set up to where it's $29.95 to be an affiliate. You join, and I will let people know that your credit card's not even hit until they do the actual launch. So that $29.95, and then it's $10 a month where they basically take care of everything. United Games takes care of everything as far as your back office and allows you to have different texts or emails that you can send out to your people. It's actually in text form. It'll go across their phone, and it gives them a little video to watch so they can see if they want to partake as far as being an affiliate and having a chance to earn that residual income. But even if they just choose to be a player and play for free, and they spread the word that way, whether it be through their friends on Facebook or just word of mouth, they still have a chance to make money just as being players.
The player sharing program is quite simple. The affiliate one is a basic affiliate marketing model. The more people I invite to play, the more commission I can earn off the tokens sold in the system to those players. I earn commission when that player purchases a token, and then I earn the other portion of that commission as they play with that token in a live event. But players themselves, as they refer friends and bring on their other friends to play with those tokens, they benefit from that. They're not in as part of that commission structure as a player, but they can earn tokens by referring other people, certainly, and extend the life of their player profile by doing that. So there are many ways for people as players to have a wonderful experience and to invite their friends and have a rich and rewarding experience and to keep building on that.
And I know how I want to say, when a company dots the I's and crosses the T's, I could tell just by the way that everything is set up as far as for me personally to get other affiliates to where I send out a text and literally a 72-hour time limit is there for that person that says that they're interested in becoming an affiliate themselves. If they do not come in that allotted 72 hours, that text, that number, that particular code, that expires, goes away. Everything is marked through a separate code, so it's not like somebody can just sit there and go through their whole Rolodex and just send out one massive email and think that they're going to get all these different affiliates and all these different players just by doing that. This is something that you guys have set up to where it's going to be an individual number and or code that's going to lock in the affiliate to the player and the affiliate to another affiliate, and each one is individual.
Yes, from the beginning, we took a strategy that we didn't want to do what a lot of freemium apps do, which is, spam other players. A lot of these popular freemium apps, as you get into play, it says, hey, tell your friends about this game, earn points or jewels or gain currency by, spamming your friends on Facebook. We didn't like that strategy. It's very invasive. It goes against what we believe are privacy rights of players. And so the process of inviting a fellow player, or if you're an affiliate, adding people to your player network to have that invitation occur, we want it to be a one-on-one experience to make it more intimate and personal. And the people who've had the most success as affiliates are introducing our game concept to their friends and family personally. They choose who they'd like to share it with. They invite them through a personal code, and it's an intimate person-to-person connection, which we feel is really true to sports anyway. You want to play sports with your family and friends, and the greatest sporting moments that you have are with your close family and friends. So we, from the beginning, decided to take that strategy to allow people to reach out to their friend and family network and make that the foundation of the way to share this app.
SportsXradio finishing up with Mark Mongie, United Games Chief Creative Officer. Mark, a question that was tweeted in, what kind of questions will the app be asking the player during these particular live sporting events? Different things as far as that particular game. Is it set up? And again, I know this is totally different than fantasy football, but when I looked at it initially, it kind of reminded me of things that you can do here in Las Vegas, and that's in-running wagering, only that's on a monetary scale as far as gambling, to where there are predicted plays that you're going to be able to do, and if you get them right, naturally you're going to be able to wager on what you think is worth, and you can get odds on different different types of bets. So if you want to predict that the team's going to fumble on that particular series of downs, or whether or not they're going to make a first down, those are choices that you have. Are we looking at something similar, say, in the game of football as far as United games?
Yes, it's really designed for the casual fan. Some of the questions you might be asked in our predictive analytical engine as part of that predicting the game engine goes. Some questions might be, will the combined score of these two teams be higher than 10 at the end of the first quarter? Which team will commit more false starts? And as you're talking about, football, which team will score the first passing touchdown? There's a number of sort of pick questions you'll have before the game starts. And then as you enter the live game experience, those pick questions and your analysis becomes more specific play-by-play.
Mm-hmm.
And so as you go into a drive scenario, it might ask, you're at this, 3rd and 1, will this team convert on this down? Will they, on this particular play or drive, get more than, 5 yards? And there'll be very specific play-by-play questions as part of that predictive analysis picking engine. So it's going to be quite fun for people to engage in who really know the sport. And for those who are more casual players, it'll also be fun because we'll ask things at a more casual level so they can and have that fun experience of slowly getting introduced to the science of the game, but still at their own level, at their own experience level, having that fun participation in the game.
Outstanding. Great breakdown, Mark Mongie. Appreciate your time. Real quick, last thing I got in there from my good pal Mark Lawrence. Will those who like the game on Facebook, on their Facebook page, will they be rewarded at all?
The affiliate strategy involves, sharing with your friends and family and your close networks. We allow people to share on their social networks, of course. Mm-hmm. It's quite a controlled strategy in the beginning. We have certain policies and procedures for social sharing, and you certainly can. Our app will not spam, though, from within the app. Our affiliate network, as we launch with it, is controlled, and we monitor the way you can share, like we mentioned earlier, which is that personal connection, sharing a private code, which only your referred person can use to enter. But you can also share on your social networks. What will happen likely organically is that as people enjoy this, they will naturally share with those they spend time with. Our app itself, though, will have its own social network built in. So we expect much of the social chatter, the communication with my sport buddies to be within the app. But we will allow people to extend that reach out to Facebook, Twitter, and other social networks as well.
Outstanding. Mark Mongie, appreciate your time. Hope to see you when you're here in Vegas. Looking forward to the launch and also to the kickoff event here August 25th and 26th right here in Las Vegas at the Palms. We will talk to you down the line. We hope to get in touch with Jeff Henderson and also Nadalyn Lewis, part of the brass there for United Games. Mark, thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure being with you.
Outstanding stuff from Mark Mongie. United Games. We are live from Vegas. Ken Thompson, Andy Iskoe, Robert Tina takes us to break.